Hi everyone. By now you have probably heard that the GMAT test format is changing later this year. The new version of the GMAT, which is going to be called the GMAT Focus Edition, is being released in Q4 of 2023, which means it's going to be available for testing only sometime after October of this year. Registrations for the new format have not yet opened at the time of recording of this video. It is expected that registrations will open sometime in the second half of this year. Even the official prep materials for the test are not yet available. As and when more information and more material is released from the official website, we will keep informing you through these YouTube videos so you know you are getting accurate and up-to-date information on the new format of the test. In this video, I am going to talk you through some of the structural changes that have been made in the test, so that you understand how the new version is going to be different from the current version of the GMAT. There are three major kinds of changes that I want to touch on, and the first thing that I want to talk about is the total duration of the test. The current version of the GMAT is over 3 hours long. The main sections, quant and verbal, are over 60 minutes each. However, the new format will only be for a total duration of 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, yay for people who have found it difficult so far to sit through a long test. Sure, in the current version we have 2 8-minute optional breaks, but still sitting for nearly 3 hours and 15 minutes is a very difficult process, especially for people who have not taken tests in recent times because we have all been busy working. So, now with the shorter format, the test is going to definitely become more test taker friendly. You will still have the option to take a break, one break, an optional 10-minute break. The current version of the GMAT has 4 sections. AWA, or the analytical writing assessment, is the essay writing section, integrated reasoning, and then the quant and the verbal sections. In the new version of the test, you will only have 3 sections because AWA, the essay writing section, is getting removed. This optional 10-minute break you can take any time between section 1 and 2 or between section 2 and 3. Integrated reasoning is getting rebranded as the data insights section and is going from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And quant and verbal are coming down from 60 minutes to 45 minutes, making it a 3-section test, 45 minutes each, a total of 2 hours and 15 minutes. This means all your questions that you are going to be answering are multiple choice questions because there is no essay in the test. Let us talk about content changes to the syllabus, what is tested, and the format of the testing. The time that you spend on quant and verbal is coming down, and therefore correspondingly the number of questions you are answering in quant and verbal are decreasing as well. Right now you have to answer 31 quant questions and 36 verbal questions, and that is coming down to 21 and 23 respectively. Integrated reasoning, your time is going up from 30 to 45 minutes. So, the number of questions is going to increase as well. It is going up from 12 questions to 20 questions. In terms of what is tested in quant and verbal in the current format of the test has 3 sections: sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension. Of these 3 sections, because the GMAT wants to ensure it is focusing on testing you on critical thinking skills that you will need to use in business school, it is retaining the reading comprehension and critical reasoning sections in verbal, but you no longer have a sentence correction section. Learning English grammar rules and how to apply them, especially when there are so many versions of English around the world, is no longer tested in the GMAT. So, yay for that, you do not need to worry about grammar. In quant, you have 2 types of questions: problem solving and data sufficiency. In the current format, these 2 question types are tested across 3 topic areas: arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. The updated information that has been released by the website now says that quant will only have problem solving questions, because data sufficiency is moving into the data insights section. You still have data sufficiency, but it's moving sections. And these topics, these problem solving and probably data sufficiency as well, the topics that they are going to be tested from are arithmetic and algebra. Now, I want to throw in a little bit of a disclaimer here. Explicitly on the GMAT website, it says, hey, we are not testing you on sentence correction and these are the reasons. They have not in so many words said, hey, we are not testing you on geometry. But what they have said is, hey, we are testing you on arithmetic and algebra. So, you could sort of infer that they are not testing you on geometry, but I am just throwing in a disclaimer there, because at the time of recording this video, they have not explicitly said no geometry, but they are definitely implying that. We will wait for more updates for a little bit of clarification on that. The final edit, which I am very excited about, the final change to the GMAT structure is the review and edit feature. This is definitely making the test extremely test taker friendly. Let me walk you through the current version of the GMAT first. First off, we call the GMAT a computer adaptive test. What's a computer adaptive test? It means you're being evaluated by the computer as and when you submit an answer for every single question. So, in the current version of the GMAT, the way it works is you submit an answer, the computer is going to check how accurately you answer the question. If you answered it accurately and you keep answering questions of that level of difficulty accurately, the computer is going to give you an imaginary pat on the back and essentially start giving you higher difficulty questions. And the beauty about this is, more difficult the question, more points it's worth. So, it's going to push you up and challenge you, but also give you the opportunity to score more. This is why in the GMAT, in the current version, you cannot skip questions, you cannot go back and change any answers, because the computer has already formed a judgment based on the answer that you have marked already. The GMAT seems to have adapted this algorithm that they are using, and in the new version, you will be able to bookmark your answers, bookmark your questions I mean. You cannot review and change as and when you please, but anytime you are a little doubtful about the answer that you have clicked for a particular question, you can bookmark it. You still cannot skip any of the questions, you still have to answer a question, and the computer is still going to form some sort of a preliminary judgment based on the answer that you have marked. At the end of the answering, let us say there are 21 questions in quant, right. Let us say you are answering them in exactly 45 minutes, you are not going to have the opportunity to review and edit. There is no additional time given for the review edit process. But the same 21 questions, if you are answering in 40 minutes, you have 5 minutes on hand to do any edits if you want. So, if you bookmark as you go, in the final stage of the section, when you come to the review and edit page, it is going to be easy for you to spot whichever questions you want to revisit. You can revisit any question, you do not have to revisit only the bookmarked ones, but bookmarking is definitely making your job a little easier when you are under time pressure. So, now you can review the questions that you have marked, questions where you were unsure about the answer, you can resolve, check your answers, and once you review at the end of the section, if you want, you can edit up to 3 answers. But it has to be a maximum of 3 answers. It is a limited editable facility. You can't edit as many answers as you want, because the computer has formed a preliminary judgment on how well you have answered. So, this is a seemingly minor change to the algorithm, but it is very beneficial for students. You do not want to waste time on questions that you are stuck on. So, you can mark those, bookmark those, go and review them at the end of the section. 3 is more than enough, that is more than 10% of the questions that you are answering. So, these are the changes that have been announced so far. As and when new changes come out, we will keep you posted. Good luck with your preparation.